My girlfriend said, "You would have understood if you trusted me," I replied. I trusted myself instead. Then I packed my suitcase, slipped the engagement ring into my pocket, walked out of the apartment, and just watched as the consequences of her choices hit her hard. Welcome to Reddit Tales. Today's story is about a man who discovered his girlfriend chose her ex over him on their anniversary. As you listen, think about what you would have done in this situation. It was 8:00 a.m. on a Saturday when Sarah, my girlfriend of 3 years, walked through the door. She looked wrecked, but not in the way someone exhausted from work might, more like someone who had spent the night elsewhere, hiding it behind a tired facade. I was sitting on the couch, still in the clothes I had worn the night before. Crisp button down, slacks, no sleep. "Oh, you're awake," she said, kicking off her boots and rubbing her temples, faking a headache. She expected me to ask if she was okay, to follow her into the kitchen, to be her safety net as always. I didn't move. She paused, the air shifting as she noticed the small, deliberate details. The unlit candles on the dining table, the unopened bottle of vintage Cabernet, 2 empty glasses. "Mark, please." "Don't do this. Don't start," she said, preemptively annoyed. I asked calmly, "Start what?" Her story spilled out. Jason, her ex, was supposedly in crisis. He had called her, spiraling, and she had gone over to help. She had stayed with him, drank with him, calmed him down. A life-or-death situation, she insisted. At that moment, I noticed the smell. Not antiseptic or hospital clean. Stale vape smoke, spilled beer, and underneath it all, Jason's cologne. She didn't save a life. She went to a bar and stayed with her ex. This was the first red flag, I thought to myself. We were supposed to celebrate our 3rd anniversary. I had reservations at El Bernardine booked 4 months ago. She rolled her eyes. Her justification was that Jason needed her more than our dinner did. "So he was suicidal?" I asked. "Yes, he was hysterical," she said. "And you didn't call emergency services?" I pressed. "No, he just needed someone to talk to." I stood up, walking toward her. I felt the clarity of years of patience and how misplaced it had been. She expected me to be understanding, to validate her chaos. That sentence broke it. "You would have understood if you trusted me." I turned to the bedroom, started packing. She followed, voice rising. I reached into my sock drawer and pulled out the navy blue ring box I had been saving for months, meant for dessert that night. She saw it. Her face drained of color, the arrogance replaced by sudden, horrific clarity. "You were going to propose," she whispered. I didn't answer. I slipped the box into my pocket and finished packing my things. She begged. She tried to block me. She cried. Real tears for the first time, not manipulative ones. I stopped, looked her in the eye. "That's the problem, Sarah," I said softly. "You shouldn't have needed a ring to tell him that." I moved past her, out the door, and into the cool morning air. The first 48 hours after moving out were a masterclass in modern digital harassment. Calls, texts, messages escalating from denial to anger to enlisting friends. I stayed calm, detached, and focused on the work I could control. This is where many people stay and hope it gets better, even when the pattern is clear, I reminded myself. Weeks later, when I returned to collect my remaining things, the apartment was a mess, the physical reflection of her life in chaos. Jason had moved in, borrowed money, brought friends over. Nothing had changed. Months passed. I rebuilt my life, worked harder, got a promotion, and started seeing Alina, someone stable and trustworthy. No drama, no games, just life being simple. One evening in a furniture store, I saw Sarah. She looked diminished, tired, defeated. She approached me, trying the apology and explanation she had rehearsed. I listened calmly and then cut her off. "You weren't wrong," I told her. "You were right. If I had trusted you, I would have been a fool." But I trusted myself instead. I stepped back. "We aren't starting over. We aren't anything. You chose chaos. I chose peace." Her face crumpled. She realized what she had lost. I told her the ring was sold and that money helped me build my future. I walked out toward my bike, toward the life I deserved. Behind me, only silence remained. Lesson 1: if someone consistently chooses chaos over your stability, it is not a partnership. Lesson 2, trust should be mutual. When trust is one-sided, boundaries are being manipulated. Lesson 3, walking away from someone who refuses to respect your life is a form of self-respect. Lesson 4, past patterns predict future behavior. Don't ignore red flags. Lesson 5, rebuilding life after betrayal is freeing. Focus on what you can control. What would you have done in this situation? Have you ever had to choose peace over love? Share your story in the comments.